Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's video. So this is actually the first video ever on my channel where I talk about finances and financy related stuff, but I was like, it's a new year, we're in 2022, like why not try some new stuff? And as you guys know, I'm all about embracing adult holly. This video is also sponsored by the NHS Professionals, which is the largest NHS flexible staff bank. They offer some really amazing opportunities that you guys might be interested in, so definitely stick around. In this video, as you can tell from the title, I just wanted to share ways in which you can make money as a student whilst you're studying, or if you're just someone in your late teens, early 20s, a young adult basically looking to make some money. And most of them are kind of like side hustles, so things you can do on the side, but you never know, they may end up becoming your like main income stream. This is not advice on like what you should definitely do, it's just to start a conversation. So definitely like this video if you enjoy it, and yeah, it may become a series and we can talk about other stuff like investing and my income streams, passive income streams. I don't know, if you have any ideas, feel free to leave them down below. And yeah, we will dive straight into this video. So I have 6 things I'm going to talk about in total, and the first one is kind of like the most obvious one, but I feel like because it is so obvious, we sometimes will overlook it. But this first one anyway is basically to find yourself a part-time job. The obvious benefits of a part-time job are that yes, it's part-time, so you leave other time to do other things, whether that's studying if you're a student, but you can rely on that part-time job. You can have a consistent kind of wage and income, and I encourage you with part-time jobs just to like think outside the box. You know, there are so many different part-time jobs out there, whether it's, you know, like babysitting, which I've done. You could work in retail. We do often associate a part-time job, I feel, with something that's like dull and boring. But as I said, you can find something that you really enjoy, and it doesn't have to be like a boring part-time job. I was in Billy Elliot the musical when I was younger, and that was a part-time job. I did that in my first year of secondary school. So at the end of 2009 into 2010, I worked as a dancer in the musical. So I was a ballet girl. I was a Tina Harmer ballet girl number 9 out of 10, and yeah, I had basically 2 6-month contracts. I actually auditioned once, didn't get it, and auditioned again because I was so determined, and then I got the job. And yeah, I worked for a year basically, but it was literally one of the best years of my life. I was literally living my dream at such a young age, like performing in the West End. I always wanted to be like on a stage and performing, and so that opportunity just literally blew my mind. I had my little claim to fame in that I worked and danced basically with Tom Holland, who is the Spider-Man, like the A-list celebrity. Tom Holland, who is the Spider-Man. Yes, I worked with him, I danced on the same stage as him. That was what I did, and I was lucky enough to like dance on TV on This Morning and also BBC's Let's Dance for Sport Relief. So yeah, I had the most incredible time. It did take up a lot of my time. It was like a part-time job, but I had to miss a lot of school. My teachers, they were very skeptical and they were not gonna let me do it. They were so close to saying no, but I literally proved them wrong. I proved them so wrong. I managed to save a lot of that money, because when you're that age, like what are you really doing with your money? So I did save it and it paid really well, and that meant that later on in school I didn't take up a part-time job, as it were, because I had earned quite a bit of money and I'd saved it from working in Billy Elliot. So yeah, that is kind of like my experience with a part-time job. I know it's kind of a more atypical part-time job, but I hope that it encourages you and inspires you maybe just to find a part-time job, like some form of employment that you really enjoy and that doesn't feel like an actual job. I know often you are in a very privileged position to say that you work and it never feels like work, but I do encourage you to try and find something that you will really enjoy. So number 2, the second way in which you can start making money and building kind of like a side hustle is through social media. So this is something I have most experience with, and it has now become like my full-time job, as it were. But again, I originally started YouTube because I wanted to just try it out, and it started off as a hobby, and to this day it is like still a hobby. It never feels like work, which is the best thing. But social media is an avenue that you guys can explore even when you're a student and potentially start building an income from it, which I think is so incredible because you can find something that you really enjoy and you can be really creative. I will be making a video at some point after this one where I talk about my personal income stream, so definitely like this video if you would like to see that, or let me know down below in the comments. But I will therefore expand on this in that video. Yes, social media and the internet is incredibly saturated. However, I truly believe that there is always a place for someone to build an online audience and an online brand, because we are all unique and everyone has something different to bring to the table. And if you're a student in particular, I would really encourage you to maybe start by documenting that, because you can literally just film yourself studying, or your notes, or your folder organization, if that's something that you want to share with others. And you know, people love that content and it's so useful for so many different students. You know, that is kind of where I started, but I've kind of diversified and I share like literally everything on the internet with you guys. I didn't start with any fancy camera equipment. I still don't have fancy camera equipment. I just do my own thing and I honestly love it, as I said. And yeah, I mean, if YouTube isn't your thing, then you can try TikTok if you want to like create shorter videos, and even on Instagram you can kind of start by building a brand. I am most familiar with YouTube obviously, in that you can generate income through AdSense. So every time an ad plays in a video, that generates some revenue and then that accumulates. And then you can also make money through working with brands through sponsorships. So this video is sponsored, and yes, I am being paid by the brand to talk about this, but that's another way in which you can make money. You can then do sponsorships on Instagram and on TikTok. I did not see myself like being a YouTuber, as it were, and creating content online and saying that that's like my job and what I do. It's crazy to say, and I will forever be grateful to you guys and this platform and stuff. But yeah, I think it's crazy, and I just think you have to be consistent with it. You have to be determined, and yeah, literally just have fun with it. So number 3 is all to do with like taking on additional shifts and additional work through the NHS, and that is basically where the NHS Professionals come in. So as I said at the start, they are the largest NHS flexible staff bank. Essentially what they do is they allow medical and non-medical professionals to take on additional work and sign up to additional shifts when you have time, and therefore generate an income for yourself. But at the same time, you're doing such amazing work for the NHS, and especially during these times, like during the winter when there is like a higher demand on the NHS services. So it is like a recruitment agency, but it does so much more than that. It really supports you and your career. If you do sign up to the NHS Professionals, then you do all of like the booking online, and you get flexibility and choice over when you work. You have like first access to the shifts that become available, and you can even do things where you like split shift or take on like school hour shifts. So it is incredibly flexible. I am so grateful for the NHS in the UK and what they do. So if you're interested in signing up to shifts, then you can click the link in my description box. And again, like, huge shout out to the NHS and the NHS Professionals for working with me on this video. Number 4 then is basically tutoring. So this is really great if you're a student in particular, but you don't have to be studying. I started online tutoring when I graduated from Cambridge, and I did that independently, we could say, for about a year. I worked with like over 70 students on my own, which was kind of crazy. After that year, and kind of when I started my master's, I also set up Polygemia, and I now have other tutors who work alongside me as part of Polygemia, and we offer help in a few different subjects alongside biology. We help people with like university applications, writing personal statements, admissions tests. I honestly love tutoring. I think it's one of the most rewarding things I've ever done, and I do love teaching biology. I love helping people with their personal statements, and there are so many ways that you can get into online tutoring or just tutoring part-time. I would firstly encourage you to like just look in your local area, like ask around or post on Facebook, on like community groups, to see if anyone's looking for tutoring. I obviously have an online audience and did it that way, and so if you are dabbling with social media and like setting up an Instagram profile or like a studying YouTube channel, then you can talk about it there as well. But another way is to look on like online tutoring websites that allow you to sign up as an online tutor. You will love it if you really enjoy your subject and you like teaching, but it does take up a lot of time in the preparation and the planning of the sessions and the work you do afterwards. And so it's not as if you're getting paid just for that hour. You need to do work before and afterwards to make sure that you're offering a quality service. And with tutoring, I hold myself to very high standards because I want people to get the most out of sessions. I pretty much always overrun, and I don't charge extra for that. It's just because I get carried away or I'm really into the session and I just love what I do. But that is my word of warning with tutoring. Like, offer a really great and quality service and you will find that people come back and they want more sessions, but it does take a lot of time. Yes, I am aware that tutoring is a paid for service, so not everyone can access it, and it is a privilege if you are a student and you can get help through tutoring. And it is something really important to me, like a long-term goal, to make biology and like learning accessible to more people around the world. But I do encourage you to set competitive rates, because if you're providing a really great and quality service, then you should be paid for your time, you know, as I said, in that session, but both before and afterwards as well, if you put in all the work. So number 5 then is proofreading. And this is related, yes, to tutoring, and it's something that we also offer at Holygemia. So you can not only get sessions, like one-to-one sessions or group tutoring sessions over video calls, but we will offer to proofread your work over email. So you send over a document, we add comments and feedback and suggested changes and modifications, and then we send it back to you, and that's proofreading. The way in which we do it at Holygemia is it's based on words. So the word count will determine how much it is, and it also depends on how fast you want it done and stuff. But if you say don't have time to tutor, like prepare for sessions, do the sessions and do the follow-up work, but you'd prefer to just work over email and do proofreading, then that's something else that you can explore. Number 6 then, the last one, is to set up a small online business. And this can take a bit of time to set up, and it depends on how you want to kind of like market and sell your products. But setting up an online business can be a really fun thing to do. And say if you have a creative niche, if you like knit or you sew, or you have a particular craft skill and you want to sell products, whether that's like birthday cards or I don't know, stationery stuff or clothing, you know, like you can sell that online. You can start a small business. You could set up an Etsy shop, for example. You could set up a shop on like Depop. With this one, Emily and I obviously have Nana, so this is our kind of like small online business. We haven't done much in a long time, I'm aware of that, but we just like create and sell products that we love ourselves in the most sustainable way possible. And yeah, we've had so much fun doing it, and I'm sitting here wearing this banana hoodie that wasn't actually planned. Again, this ties back to the social media. Like in our day and age, having a brand or an online presence really does help you in marketing products, but you don't have to have an audience to sell on Etsy or to sell on Depop, you know. You just have to basically start by signing up, you know, and making yourself an account or a shop on Etsy, and just see where it takes you, and just think about what you want to sell, what you could make and what you could sell, and what you think other people will enjoy. If you think there's a market for it, then just try it. And something that I want to kind of like emphasize at the end of this video, because those are like the 6 things, don't be worried about failing. If you start a YouTube channel and it doesn't take off immediately, that's not a failure. Like, keep trying. And even if you only have one student who you tutor at first, that's not a failure. Just keep trying and just do what you love, because if you do love it, then you won't feel as if you're working, but you will be generating an income for yourself whilst you're studying, or if you're just learning to be an adult, because that is a job in itself. But yeah, I hope this video was useful and helpful. I realized the lighting is changed, it's kind of a bit dull now. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and yeah, leave down below any questions you have, or if you have any particular video ideas, then just comment those down below. Subscribe if you're new, and as I said, definitely check out the NHS Professionals if you're interested in signing up for shifts and taking on work within the NHS. I think it's such a cool thing that they do. That's everything basically for this video, and yeah, as always, I will speak to you very soon in another video. Bye guys!